job. And let's welcome our final team. We have Team Put, who's done a really exciting app that I'm excited about. This is a gardening app that I plan on using. It's probably too late for me this year since I have a whole bunch of dead plants in my backyard, but I'm excited for them to share with you this application that they built today. So I'm going to turn it over to Team Put.
All right, thanks, Lena. I will go ahead and share my screen here. Really awesome apps, you guys, too. It was very cool to watch so far. Okay, let's move the Zoom bar over and present.
Perfect. Well, welcome, everyone. I want to thank you for joining us for our project demonstration. We're excited to share our accomplishments with you. On the agenda for today, we're going to do some team introductions where we'll get to hear from each of our talented developers. We'll talk a little bit about the problem domain and the project overview to explain the process of how and why we created the Gardener's Guide. Then we'll talk a little bit about the process and documentation, showcasing the domain model and the wireframing. And then we'll give a little application demonstration to show what we've accomplished in the app. And last but not least, we'll highlight our tests, challenges, and wins before we take the floor for questions. So our team includes Tia Lowe, David Dickin, Hex King, and myself, Megan Domick. To share a little bit about me, I'm a software developer from Ohio, and in my past experience, I worked in a remote position supporting corporate child care programs across the country. So I managed substitute teachers and was responsible for interviewing, hiring, and training, as well as the daily operation of my teams. I've been recognized for my consistent model work ethic, one who is proactive about improving systems, willing to collaborate, and brings their whole self to work. I'm excited to be seeking a career that will continue to challenge me, and I enjoy problem solving, making things work, and learning new skills. I'm successful working independently, but enjoy collaborating and working with others too. And as a leader, I demonstrate a reliable and trustworthy work ethic and expect the same from those that report to me. I'm looking for a position that will provide a flexible work-life balance and one that I can make an impact. When I'm not at work, I enjoy playing the cello and spending time with my family and friends. And I'll pass it off to Hex.
Hey, thank you so much, Megan. My name is Hex King, and I was born and raised in Texas, and I moved to Seattle in about 2014. I immediately got involved with different queer organizations throughout the city, and in my free time, I also enjoy roller skating along the beach and supporting local performance art. Learning about an unspoken cyber war involving hackers really sparked my interest in the technology industry. I knew my first step into getting into cybersecurity was going to be to learn how to code. So here I am. CodeFellows is that very first step, but my studies will not end here. Upon completing the 401 course in software development, I do plan to continue into CodeFellows Cyber Ops course. So soon, I'll be ready to find that perfect internship that points me towards my future in cybersecurity. So now I'm going to pass it along to Tia.
All right, thanks, Hex. Hi guys, my name is Tia. I'm a software developer bringing to the table a variety of technical and soft skills. My background generally is in kind of client and program management, but it's been a bit of a long and winding road for me in different jobs and such, but I always kind of found myself looking for more challenge and inspiration in my work. So with an opportunity earlier this year that I think a few of us found ourselves in, I jumped at the chance to explore an interest I've had for a while in coding. So I believe that my variety of jobs in diverse settings has really helped develop my interpersonal skills. And I quite enjoy working in a team, contributing to and working with my peers. I've also found that I'm more and more interested in the ways the natural and technical worlds intersect and how often that really can happen. And then, yeah, both personally and professionally, I am endlessly curious about people and the world and really interested in the ways technology can help us understand all that. And that's our intro. I'll pass it off to my teammate, David.
Thanks, Tia. Hi, everybody. I'm David. I'm a software developer from Lake Stevens. My love for coding began while I was working at a scrapyard, actually. It was 2015, and we were still writing all of our receipts by hand. So I took it upon myself to learn Excel, and I ended up creating a spreadsheet that tracked all of our customers, created receipts, tracked the flow of money and metals through, and it was amazing, and it was fun to see what is possible out there. It drove me to want to learn all the languages that I can so that I can build programs that manage data and help businesses to run smoother. And that's a little bit about me. I'd like to pass it to Megan so she can tell you about our project overview.
Great, thanks, David. So as a team, we were talking about different ideas, and we found that we had a shared interest in plants and gardening that fueled a desire to build an app to help gardeners from the beginner to the experienced, to be able to search different types of plants. We wanted to know when, where, and how to plant, as well as create a tool to stay organized in the garden. We wanted to feature the ability to save notes and to keep track of our progress. So after searching and finding an API that could provide the data with these goals in mind, we knew that this project idea could become a reality. As we designed an app that allowed a user to search for a plant they would like to learn more about. They have the ability to then save that plant to the greenhouse for further reference. And in the greenhouse, they're able to view all the plants that they've saved and either remove them or go to a details page. On the details page, you have the option to add, edit, and remove your notes. And each user has a unique login that will store their greenhouse with notes. And I'll pass things off to David to talk more about our team process and documentation.
Thanks, Megan. So first we have in the top right hand corner, we have our wireframe of what we thought at the time was going to be our 5 pages. They turn out pretty close. We did use the Trello board to track the tasks and what people were working on, and to kind of keep a reminder of feature tasks or stretch goals that we wanted to have. Our domain model down on the bottom left-hand corner was how we tracked our calls to the API, where the data would go and flow through our pages, and where it would end up. And then what I'm really proud of is our GitHub network graph down here. Before we started, we talked about this, and we decided that we wanted to have our master, be safe, and we worked off of a dev branch. Every morning we got together and we pulled from that branch. Then we'd split into teams and come back in the evening before we were done, and we would all merge together. We had it set up so that, there had to be, you had to get, 1 approval to merge to dev, 2 approvals to merge to master. So it made us all come together and talk and look at what we've done, and it just went incredibly smooth, and not having to worry about merge conflicts and issues allowed us to focus more on the coding. Next, I'd like to talk about our teamwork. Like I said, there's a lot going on in this app, and we were able to reach some of our stretch goals, and that's only possible because everybody gave 200%. There was no one person that was carrying the team. We all contributed equally, and it was pretty fun. Like I said, up front, we decided that we were going to code together. So we either pair programmed or mob programmed, and every morning we would get together, talk about what we were looking at, whether we wanted to tackle this as a group and push through it as a group, or whether we wanted to take 2 separate tasks and 2 separate teams and go get stuff done. It worked incredibly well for us. Like I said, we would check in at night and we would merge everything, and I'm excited for you guys to see our app. I'd like to just pass it off to Tia so she can show this to you. It's really proud of it and our team.
All right, sweet. Thanks, David. Let us check out our app. Okay, so you'll recognize this from the wireframe that you saw. Kind of generally, we wanted to have a nice picture here to welcome the user. But it looks a little different because we were able to get to one of those stretch goals that identifies the unique user. So you'll see here just a short little quick welcome to give you an idea of what we're going to do here. And let's go ahead and enter our email, which at this point is how we're identifying the user uniquely. We'll submit that. It takes us to the next page that prompts for a little bit of more information. And I will put my name in and my zip code. And let's get going. So here we are to the home page of our app. And it draws your attention straight to the search field here with the prompt to enter plant name. So let's go ahead and check out some plants. So maybe we want to plant chives this year. So we're gonna put that in there, and it will take us to the next page where we see a short description of this plant, a nice picture here, and then the ability to add it to our greenhouse. You'll also see the additional relevant details for the plant. From the really awesome information if you plan to use this in your garden. And then we can add it to our greenhouse. We'll start our collection. You'll notice that it prompts us to go to the greenhouse now, but let's add another plant in so we have a couple things to work with. So we can go back home, and we, for some funny reason, want to plant eggplant. So here we are again with all those details for the specific plant of eggplant. We'll add that. And this time, let's go to our greenhouse. So we'll cruise over here, and we have just a simple view of the couple things in our greenhouse collection. A couple of pieces of function here for the user to come to quickly. And one thing we want to draw your attention to is the temperature up here in the corner. Because you gave us your zip code on that second page, we're able to tell you what temperature it currently is in your location. And that can help with your planting and gardening needs. If it's super hot, it might remind you to get outside and water, whatever you want to use it for. So let's see here. We can quickly remove something from the greenhouse if we're no longer interested in that. And we also have the ability to check out the details again. So let's do that. So we come back here. This time we just see the description and the picture. If we want, we can choose to see all those details again. Here they are, the same stuff we saw on our original search page. But let's go ahead and hide those. And maybe we planted this last year and we have some notes to save for our specific collection. Let's say the bugs were bad. We need to do something about that. So we'll add the note and we see it populate there. We could put another one. Maybe we need to water it more. Gentle reminder. And then we see the addition of that extra note there as well. And what we can do real quickly is just delete that. Maybe we've come back to our individual collection. We're looking at the details. We don't care about that anymore. We can delete that and get rid of it from there. But one thing we also want to be able to do is edit what we've saved. So we can click that button here. We'll see our note come up, and we can go ahead and say, really bad, and save that. So you'll see the notes update as they're saved, and that's saving to your unique user experience in the details page of your greenhouse. There we are with our updated notes. So kind of generally speaking, that takes us through a quick run from start to finish of being able to uniquely identify the person who's coming to the page, give them their specific greenhouse. With each plant that they choose to add to their greenhouse, they can add their specific notes, which will persist throughout use. And there's just a couple other things we want to show you. Of course, we have an About Us page where we see our super awesome developers here, a little bit more information about them, fun fact, favorite plant, and a couple links to contact them and to see their other projects and such. And then let me just move my Zoom bar really quickly. The last thing to show you is that we do have some additional resources down here in the bottom. Just a quick little footer, draw your attention to that, a couple links. Maybe you didn't know what kind of plant you wanted, so you can click this Garden Inspiration one. It will take you to a new tab with some links for vegetable gardens. This links to a toxic garden. For some reason, someone planted only toxic plants in a garden in England, but it's pretty interesting. So just some fun stuff down here to share as well. So that's that. That's the demo of our app. I'll pass it back to Hex to bring us home.
Wow, great demo, Tia. That's so fun. Okay, so all weekend long, our team researched many APIs before we chose the Harvest Helper, which actually was created by a developer from Colorado who also teaches software development, right? One of the earliest challenges that we had was displaying the images on the page. David and Megan found a solution where they had to slice the URL from the website and then rejoin it with the image coming back from the API, because the API wasn't really sending the whole URL with the image included. So they found a really neat little workaround for that. A fun challenge that Tia, Megan, and myself all came up against was working with a nested grid styling in our CSS files. You can find that skill flex in our footer and on the About Us page. Now, I think the only true challenge that we really had was a race against time. Every day our team woke up early to code, we stayed up late at night to code, and we stayed dedicated to make the most out of this wonderful experience to bring you this beautiful application. Our team was able to build a full stack application using our very own unique server, while also pulling data from at least 2 different APIs. And we used at least 3 different styling techniques. We also populated a table in our database, then connected that table to other tables, and we actually reached some of our stretch goals as well. On top of all of that, we managed to do all of that in about 4 days, right? Pretty incredible. Speaking of stretch goals, we actually used a SQL foreign key to connect all 3 tables within our database. I started calling this technique table inception to describe the relationship between the tables, right? Think of it like a table within a table, but this one doesn't star Leonardo DiCaprio. Now, using the same table inception idea, we were able to uniquely identify users, giving them their very own specialized experience when using our application. Now, before we take questions, I would like to quickly show you a list of resources and any links that you may be interested in. Here you can find a link to our application, and if you would like to try it out for yourself, as well as a link to our GitHub if you want to peek at the code. Now, below that, you will find all additional resources we used while building the app, including the 2 APIs that were featured. Now, I do want to give a huge and very special thank you to all the teachers and TAs for supporting us every step of the way. They poured a tiny bit of their soul into this app as well, and we couldn't be more grateful. Now, lastly, this is gonna make me cry. Lastly, I want to say thank you to every single one of our cohorts. Without your laughs, your cheering, the late nights spent together on Remo. All right, I'm gonna keep control. We would all be in a corner right now crying by ourselves. So I'm so proud of our 301 class. I'm even more proud of Team Put for pouring our hearts and souls into this project. Congratulations, everyone, we did it. With that being said, I'm gonna open up the floor for questions.